Rome wasn't built in a day. All roads lead to Rome. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. A Treatise on the Astrolabe, written by Geoffrey Chaucer in 1391. Little Lewis, my son, I see some evidence that you have the ability to learn science, and I recognize your special desire to learn about the astrolabe. So as the philosopher said, he wrappeth him in his friend, that condescendeth to the rightful prayers of his friend. I propose to teach you some facts about the instrument. There are several reasons for this treatise on the astrolabe. First, no one in this region has complete knowledge of the noble astrolabe. Another reason is that there are errors in the astrolabe treatises that I have seen, and some of them present material too difficult for a 10-year-old to understand. This treatise is divided into 5 parts and is written clearly and in plain English, because your Latin is still not good enough, my little son. But the facts are the same in English as Greek was to the Greeks, Arabic to the Arabs, Hebrew to the Jews, and Latin to the Romans, who first learned them from other diverse languages and rewrote them in Latin. And, as God wills, all of these facts have been completely learned and taught in all of these languages, but by different methods, much as all roads lead to Rome. Now, I ask every person who reads or hears this little treatise to excuse my crude editing and my excessive use of words for 2 reasons. First, it is hard for a child to learn from complex sentences. Second, it seems better to write a good sentence twice for a child so he will not forget the first. The first part of this treatise presents the parts of your astrolabe so you can become familiar with your own instrument. The second part teaches practical uses of previous facts, as much as possible for such a small portable instrument, for every astrologer knows that the smallest fractions shown in special tables that are calculated for a specific reason are not visible on such a small instrument. The third part contains various tables of longitudes and latitudes of fixed stars for the astrolabe, a table of declinations of the sun, tables of longitudes of cities and towns, tables for setting a clock and to find the meridian altitude, and other notable conclusions from the calendars of the reverend clerks. The fourth part contains a theory to explain the movements of the celestial bodies and their causes. In particular, the fourth part contains a table of the moon's motion for every hour of every day and in every sign from your almanac. This table allows you to know the degree of the zodiac that the moon rises in for any latitude and the rising of any planet based on its latitude from the ecliptic. The fifth part shall be an introduction, following the style of our scholars, in which you can learn most of the general theory of astrology. You will find tables of equations of the houses for the latitude of Oxford, and tables of dignities of the planets and other relevant things. And Lewis, I get my satisfaction if my English treatise presents the same facts as any Latin treatise on the astrolabe. And praise God and save the King, who is Lord of this language, and all who obey him. Consider well that I have not claimed to create this work from my own work or energy. I am but a lewd compiler of the labor of old astrologers, and I have translated this treatise into English only for your use.